Today in New York, celebrations turned chaotic as Knicks fans painted the town orange and blue, and it got real loud, real fast. I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day, with Leah and Garrett, coming to you from New York, New York.
All right, let's set the stage for this one. First up, the Knicks clinched their first NBA title since 1973, beating the San Antonio Spurs. Tens of thousands packed the streets around Madison Square Garden, and the celebration went all night. The NYPD reported 63 arrests tied to assaults and criminal mischief, the legal term for damaging property. There were multiple violent incidents, a shooting, stabbings, and damaged vehicles, and in one shocking moment, a school bus was set on fire. Mayor Zohran Mamdani says a ticker tape parade is set for Thursday along the Canyon of Heroes, the stretch of Broadway in Lower Manhattan, famous for confetti parades celebrating big moments.
That's so wild. I totally get the joy 50-plus years is a long wait. But violence and arson are a no-go. I mean, a school bus. Why? What flips the switch from celebration to destruction like that?
Crowd energy can turn fast. Packed streets, late hours, lots of adrenaline. That doesn't excuse it, but it helps explain how a few bad choices can ripple. Public safety, meaning the shared rules and systems that keep everyone safe, has to be front and center even when the city is partying.
Right, celebrate hard, but do it without putting other people at risk. I'm glad the parade is happening, though. A planned event with barriers, clear routes, and extra staffing can channel that energy into something joyful and safe. Okay, let's move on. Next up, Rikers Island and a big personnel move. Serena Townsend is returning to an expanded role overseeing misconduct investigations and gang intelligence, which is the collection and analysis of information about gang activity inside city jails. Townsend was forced out 4 years ago, and reform advocates praised her accountability push back then. Now she's back under Nicholas Demmel, the court-appointed manager for city jails, who is tasked with fixing systemic problems. The Correction Officers Union is pushing back hard, saying she is biased against officers and calling this revenge.
Let's dig into this. I support a strong investigations unit. Accountability builds safer jails for officers and people in custody. Bias, meaning an unfair lean for or against a group, is a real concern in any oversight job. So I hear the union's worry, but I also see a track record from Townsend that reformers respected. Transparent processes, clear evidence standards, and open reporting could help both sides here.
Totally. If investigations are timely and fact-based, they protect good officers and hold bad acts accountable. That balance matters for trust inside and outside the jails.
All right, let's roll on. Over in Millburn, New Jersey, residents are voting on a shift to a nonpartisan local government for the first time in 169 years. Nonpartisan means candidates would appear on the ballot without party labels like Democrat or Republican. If approved, the township committee would expand from 5 to 7 members. Terms would be extended, and all current members would have to stand for re-election under the new rules, which could shorten some current terms. Local Democrats argue Republicans want to avoid an unpopular label. Republicans say this is about broader representation and lowering the temperature in local politics. The town has also clashed with state affordable housing mandates, which are required targets for building homes people with lower incomes can afford.
Here's where it gets really interesting. I like nonpartisan local ballots because they can reduce divisiveness and focus on issues like budgets, zoning, and services. But I hear the political undertones. Voters will have to decide if this is a reset for better representation or just a relabel. Why expand from 5 to 7 seats, though? Is that about giving more neighborhoods a voice?
That's often the idea. More seats can mean more perspectives and committee bandwidth. It's a structural change, so how it plays out depends on who runs and how they govern. Process changes set the table, but people still cook the meal, you know.
Switching gears just a little. New York's vaccine debate is flaring up. Lawmakers passed a bill requiring kids attending summer camps to be vaccinated. That is a mandate, meaning a legal requirement. Governor Kathy Hochul supports it as a public health step. Bruce Blakeman, the Republican challenging her, calls it un-American and raises religious freedom concerns, which refers to the right to practice one's faith without government interference. This comes as New York and some other states try to hold the line on vaccine recommendations they say are being rolled back at the federal level, and it's a snapshot of the national tension between public health policy and personal choice.
Yeah, that checks out as the core conflict. I lean toward clear standards in group settings like camps, since one child's exposure can affect many. At the same time, handling exemptions carefully matters. That is where the legal and ethical lines live. Good policy here is precise, transparent about the science, and simple to follow for families and camp operators. Last up today, the city's broker fee landscape, 1 year after most apartment broker fees were banned under the FAIR Act. FAIR stands for Fairness in Apartment Renting, and it was designed to cut upfront costs by stopping tenants from paying brokers hired by landlords. The Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, the city agency that enforces consumer laws, has received more than 2,000 complaints but issued only 74 summonses so far. Some renters report illegal bait-and-switch tactics when a listing promises one thing but delivers another to push a pricier option. Industry voices claim the law drives up rents. That point is disputed and not proven, but it's part of the debate. Bottom line, the impact on tenants is mixed right now.
Let's not let this one slide by. If the law says no fees in most cases, enforcement has to carry some weight. Why has it been so slow? More than 2,000 complaints and only a few dozen summonses tells me renters still feel stuck.
Investigations take time, for sure, and each case needs evidence. But I hear you. When families are hunting for housing, delays hit hard. Clear guidance to brokers and landlords, faster complaint triage, and public reporting on outcomes could tighten the system so the rules match reality.
That's the heartbeat of it. Renting is stressful enough, so the rules need to be simple, fair, and enforced, so New Yorkers can, actually move without getting burned.
So there we have it, folks. From championship highs to real-world fallout, from jail reforms to ballots and bills, we covered the hits today.
This has been Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett from New York, New York. Have a great day and join us again tomorrow for more local news insights.